3 weeks and counting in what the polls would tell us is a dead heat contest for the presidency of the United States of America, the future of democracy, and the control of your government and my government. And that brutal Monday morning, 3 weeks out imperative, that's the business of today's Morning Joe on MSNBC. Check it out as Joe Scarborough taunts Trump for not having the courage to come out of his safe space, while Vice President Harris boldly provokes the felon who would be king to secure her victory in the final stages of this insane chapter in American history. Please don't sit back. Please don't enjoy. Please don't relax until this is won. Check it out.
No plans for the American people. And then he just makes things up on a full-time basis with the intention to make the people afraid, to make people fear that which they should not be afraid of. But he does it in a way that he thinks, I think, will compel them to believe that somehow he is the savior, when in fact he is quite unfit to do the job.
That's Vice President Kamala Harris speaking with reporters on Saturday with a theme that she carried throughout the weekend. Good morning and welcome to Morning Joe. It's Monday, October the 14th, and with us we have the host of Way Too Early, White House Bureau Chief at Politico, Jonathan Lemire. Also, we have U.S. Special Correspondent for BBC News, Caddy K. So much going on in the news today. Caddy, why don't you get us started in North Carolina?
Yeah, Joe, I mean, it's been a super busy weekend out on the campaign trail. And we're now, just 3 weeks until Election Day, pretty much. Yesterday, Vice President Kamala Harris held a rally in Greenville, North Carolina, where she called Donald Trump weak for refusing to do the things that every other presidential candidate typically does, including herself.
He has no plan for how he would address the needs of the American people. He is only focused on himself. And he's not, but here's the thing, North Carolina, and he's not being transparent with the voters. He's not being transparent. So check this out. He refuses to release his medical records. I've done it. Every other presidential candidate in modern era has done it. He is unwilling to do a 60 Minutes interview. Like every other major party candidate has done for more than half a century. He is unwilling to meet for a second debate. Here's the thing. It makes you wonder. Why does his staff want him to hide away? One must question. Are they afraid that people will see that he is too weak and unstable to lead America? Is that what's going on? We can already see the harm he's up to as a candidate. Most recently, spreading disinformation in the wake of natural disasters. Blocking real solutions that would stop drug cartels from crossing the border when he tried to kill and did that border security deal. Because you see, Donald Trump cares more about scaring people, creating fear, running on a problem instead of what real leaders do, which is to participate in fixing problems.
All right. We've got a tie race. We're going to get to that in a minute. NBC News poll came out yesterday, 48-48. And so what we're looking at, I think, Jonathan Lemire with Kamala Harris in North Carolina there, is the beginning of a 3-week dash. I mean, we're talking about the beginning of I think her closing message. And if you look at it, it's a pretty strong message. Saying that he's afraid to release his medical records. He's afraid to go and do a 60 Minutes interview. He's afraid to do a debate. And then she comes behind and she goes to what Donald Trump's political sort of strength is, which is strength, power. And she says he's weak and unstable, which does seem to sort of pick at what a lot of people who even have supported Donald Trump say, going, I don't like him, not sure if he's all there, but I may vote for him anyway. I'm curious, is this a deliberate effort by the Harris campaign to drive this message home that he's weak, he's unstable, and they're afraid to even put him out there?
Yes, and part of this is a hope to provoke him. And she has been effective at needling him, finding his little sore, weak spots. One of which, let's remember the debate, that sort of almost seemed like a throwaway line, although we've since been told it was well practiced, where she noted that people leave Trump's rallies early. Donald Trump, I don't think, has given a speech in the month since, in which he has not tried to rebut that. He talks about it constantly, about people leave. They don't leave early. They don't leave my speeches early. They don't leave my speeches early. And that it was a sign to people in the Harris campaign that she can effectively needle him, put him on the territory where she wants to compete. And she's doing it again here now, trying to turn one of his strengths, much like his crowds, his suggestion of his strength, and turn it into a weakness, have him defend it, sort of undercut it, say, look, actually, he's afraid to do an interview. He's afraid to release his medical records. And tying that with their overall theme, which is simply Trump makes every decision about himself, not about you, the voter. He's shielding you. He doesn't want to give you this information. He doesn't trust you. He's not looking out for you. And that is her argument right now as Trump simply goes darker and darker on the campaign trail.
Today, somebody will drop off something to be altered or adjusted or fixed, and the pickup will be after November 5th. Think about that. What will really be altered after November 5th? That's just less than 3 weeks away. Takes more time to get a doctor's appointment sometimes or a road test. Both of those things, though, well, all of the things that we take for granted could be dramatically and forever altered if Project 2025, ushered in under the Trump-Vance ticket, prevails. And if your shoemaker or your tailor happens to be from one of those S-hole countries, well, they might not be there to give you your stuff. So please vote your conscience.